Once upon a time there was a very rich young man, and his father used to trade in jewels. He was talked about in his circle of friends and loved ones. He treated his friends with great devotion and love. In return, they honored and respected him in an unprecedented manner. As days passed, the young man's father died and the family became very poor. So the young man began to seek out the old friends of his prosperous days. He found that his dearest friend, whom he respected, with whom he was very fond, who never spared him too much, has become rich, and has become the owner of many palaces and property. So he went to his friends, hoping that he would hire him or help him find some way to improve his situation. When he reached the gate of the palace, servants and generous welcomed him. He mentioned to them his relationship with the owner of the house and the old love between them. Servant went and told his master about the arrival of his best friend. He gets up and sees from behind the curtain a man whose clothes are torn and poverty is evident on his face, so he refuses to meet him. Rich friend servant tells him that our master does not want to meet anyone, so he came out of the palace with this pain and sorrow that this relationship has died only because of my poverty, and how have values and virtues disappeared from people's hearts. Near the palace he saw 3 people arguing among themselves as if they were inquiring about something. He asks them what they are talking about. They take his father's name and say that they are looking for so-and-so, son of so-and-so. He told them that he was my father, and that he had died a long time ago, on which he was very depressed. He described the qualities of his father and said that his father was a big businessman of coral and jeweler, precious gem and stone. We have precious pieces of coral that he left with us as a trust. So they handed him a huge bag full of coral and left. The young man is taken aback and cannot believe his eyes and ears to believe it to be true. But now the question arose as to where and to whom he should sell it, as there was no one in his town who could pay for it. So he went in search of a merchant. After a while he met an old woman who seemed to be of good character. The woman asked him that, "Son, I am looking for a jeweler in your city. Where can I find it?" The young man asked, "What kind of jewelry do you want to buy?" The woman answered, "I am looking for beautiful stones, of any type and price." The young man asked, "Would you like to buy coral?" She said, "I will definitely buy it." The young man took out some pieces of coral from the bag and handed them to the lady. The lady was amazed when she saw the precious stones and bought the pieces and left, saying that she would come again to buy the remaining pieces. Thus, the conditions of the young man started to improve, and his business started to recover. Then he remembered his friend who refused to meet him in bad circumstances. So he wrote the message in one letter and sent, "I have been in the company of friends who have no faith in them, who maintain friendship with tricks and excuses. They honor me when I am rich, and when I am bankrupt, they treat me as ignorant." When he read it, he wrote the message and sent it in response. As for the 3 people who met outside the palace, it was not an accident but a ruse. The woman who bought the coral from you was my mother, and you are my brother and my last hope. We did not return because of stinginess, but we were afraid that you would not be ashamed in front of us.